Alright, so here we are in our Cup Series car. And I hadn't really explained this one as far as the Cup Series goes. So I did start my own team, right? So we all knew that. I think I've talked about that. But what I didn't talk about was the fact that when I started my own team, I was almost certain. Wow. Okay. Well, let's calm down. Just let it slide. Don't touch anything. That's a great way to start practice. At least it's just practice, right? But so I didn't talk about this, but when I started this team, I was almost certain. Right, I was almost certain I had plenty of finances to back this team up. Which, in all reality, I had enough to really get this team going better than average. But I started out, I think, with 64 million that I'd saved up from 4 seasons of running truck and Xfinity, and then I ran for a Cup team last year. So I was like, I'm gonna start my own teams. I started my own truck, started my own Xfinity. Those were maxed out. I think I ended up with 55 million left, and I'm like, there's no way that's not enough. I should have paid more attention, but it was certainly not enough. So I've got the departments up to like 90. I've got my workers up to run about 10. So I mean, we're not running the greatest car, but the car is definitely better than average. So we're able to compete. Especially with the settings I've got it on. Like I said, if I was running on like Art or Legend, this car would probably be a top 10 car most days. But as far as a winning car, I would definitely have struggled a little more. So the settings that I've got it on though, it shouldn't be an issue. And again, there were multiple decisions and reasons behind, pulling the settings back a little bit. For one, racing in car this was going to be a challenge. I wasn't sure what to expect, but I've really enjoyed it so far. I mean, in car has been about as cool as you can think it would be. Well, that's a little slide there. I think we're good with practice though. So we're going to go ahead and qualify. By the way, I love this car. This is such a pretty vehicle. But being in car, we don't get to see much of it. So, there's some drawbacks to racing in car. But like I said, I think it's a cool thing to do. Like I said in the last Xfinity, I don't see a lot of guys who stream this type of content. I don't think I see. I think maybe I've seen maybe one or two over the last several years that have made a go at this. So, and me, like I said, I have rather enjoyed it. Running out front is easy from in car, I'll tell you that much. Now, driving through the field, if you're not qualifying well, then driving through the field will be a bit of a challenge. But I think it's a good experience, and I think the biggest thing that people will have to really take into account, it's still a interesting game, okay? So, like, there's a lot of real-life elements that people apply to games, and I'm very well aware of that. But at the same time, you gotta kind of just like, hey, it's just one of those things that's gonna happen. See, there you go. This will be fun. I am not qualifying. This is a track that will test my ability to drive with this vehicle. I really thought that was going to be a better lap than that. First of all, I ran a 29. See, this is different. I ran a 29-second lap in my Xfinity car, which is maxed out. Could not run a 29-second lap in this car. I might be able to get a 29-second lap at some point. I just didn't push it enough in the corners during that qualifying lap. Just what? Oh, okay, Kyle pushed up the track there. He is my rival. He's going to try to run me off of this thing. Look here, Kyle. I know we're rivals and stuff, but you could fully eat dust with the rest of them. because I will turn you around. See, and I didn't even hear the spotter tell me that Keselowski was down here while I just clipped his back in trying to get behind him. Oh my goodness. Whoa, okay. That was a risky maneuver there, bud. This is going to be a risky too. I think we're 4 wide. No, we're 3 wide, but close enough to be a car. We're coming to back out of that. I feel like I'm really having to work the wheel right here. Okay, Kyle. Thanks, bud. Dude. Oh, he did get turned around. Him trying to come into me. I mean, I think I did challenge him a little bit and push down on him some on that one, but that first door slam was all him, for sure. I mean, I'm against the wall, and he just, you know. So that, to me, is the reason you don't make rivals in this game. That was, what makes it not too much fun trying to race against these guys is when you got a rival who is got a quick car and is making sure he does everything he can to tear into your driver's side panel every race that he's around you. And honestly, it seems like you can run these cars a lot faster than I was thinking with the Cup car. Because I really backed off in the corners, and they're proving that you can go. Whoa, okay. I'm going to have to pick up a little bit here. That was on me. I caught the apron, and okay. Buddy, let me tell you. Yeah, they went around, I went around. We're going to save it, though, and end up 6th. Wow, this is going to be tough, folks. Let me tell you. This is one of those in-car moments that I'm not exactly thrilled about. I'm not meaning to be all over the road here. Get in behind Keselowski here. That was my fault in this corner. I caught the apron, put myself in a bad spot. Then I clipped Harvick and just had no control over that when I went to the corner over here. He went around behind me, and I was just bound and determined to lose that car. I'm not trying to push Keselowski up the track. I'm trying to push with him. And I just had more of a run than he liked. I have a feeling I'm gonna have more of a run than he likes here too. Again, caught the apron. Oh my god. Okay, he saved it. I'm really not trying to drive like an a-hole, but so far I'm driving like an a-hole. I have so many teammates that I've driven with. I didn't record really any of this before, but I did drive for Toyota. Martin Truex and Denny Hamlin, they were my teammates 2 seasons ago. And in the last season, I drove for Ford, and I was driving for Penske, so Logano was my teammate. He was one of my teammates, along with, let's see, it was Austin Cindric on the Xfinity then, but, so, yeah, I mean, I'm trying just to be a decent, quality driver around here. And I was definitely wrong on the laps here. We have 23 laps here in Atlanta in the Cup Series. Trying to keep up with Logano here. But, see, outside the car, I would have no problem wheeling this around this track. But inside the car, turning the steering wheel at such a severe slope like that just feels uncomfortable. It just looks weird. And I guess that's kind of like one of those psychological things. Like, and I'll say driving in car, it probably is. I am driving just a tad bit slower than I would be out like a first-person camera. But hey, that's just how it's going to be. And we have taken the lead, which is great. Took us a minute to get here. So I guess I'm glad we did have some extra laps. I think they will check up a little bit more once the tires start to wear down than I will, and that's what makes a difference too. And I'm not going to say that this race was just pitch perfect, because it was not caused some issues early on. And I will say the whole Kyle Busch thing, hey, he lured me, and he kept trying and trying, and finally quickly got himself caught up in that. And Harvick, I mean, that was just me trying. I don't have spotter help. I didn't know he was there. And it's hard for me to look into the review and try to drive at the same time. I mean, it's not an easy task. I mean, these guys, doing this week in, week out, I mean, spotters are kind of one of those things. They go under the radar, but they are such an incredible asset to the drivers. And so that's, again, like I said, in Xfinity race, that's one thing I would love to see improve is spotter work in this game. Like, I wish there was a setting in which you could adjust the rate at which the spotter communicates with you. So, like, if you put it on, like, say a 1 on the scale of 1 to 10, he'll do the normal. Alright, he's above you, he's below you, you're clear. But if you max it out, then it's like a real-time spotter where hey, you got him, calling to the halfback. He's got a run on you. He's 2 car lengths back, whatever the case may be, and just the excessive, like command of communication there. I think it would be okay. So I must be losing some weight on the tires here. Yeah, we are, because that corner did not go well. I did not turn the corner great. But the good news is, there's always the next corner. I am slowing down quite a bit here, and there's a good reason for that. These tires are not liking the way I'm driving. So we'll live with it. I try not to wear the tires out too much, even though I'm not racing long, lengthy races. I feel like that's kind of in the works. I've done some online racing with some people I know, and we've run some longer races. Matter of fact, we did 250 laps at Bristol last night. I didn't stream any of that. It was kind of just one of those get together fun things, and so I didn't want to stream it. But yeah, 250 laps at Bristol was interesting, especially considering the settings got screwed up, and we did no cautions. We did absolutely zero stages. So it was 250 laps straight through, but the tire was normal, and the fuel consumption was normal, so we ended up having to make 2 green flag pit stops, and there was probably about 60 lead changes between the 4 of us that were in it, and we did have AI cars, so it was complete chaos. And I lied, we did have yellow. We had light yellows though, so it wasn't the strict yellows. But anything about that with light yellows, it can kind of go vary. I mean, cars can be going sideways and the flag will not come out. It has to be like 2 or more involved. And yeah, so it was funny. It was chaotic, and it took a while to get through. But yeah, so as far as length races like that, I think it's in the works. I don't know that I'm fully prepared for that. I think it's a kind of a typical thing. If you've ever played games like this, I don't want to sound like I'm old, but carpal tunnel does exist in the realm of life. I don't know if it's because of combination of gaming for a long time and the fact that being an athlete, and that was when I played baseball as a pitcher, so I used a lot of wrist motion during that time period, and so I think it's just kind of one of those things that's come to pass in my life, and so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that and not do too much, and so. But yeah, kind of off the tangent. But anyways, so that's a win, and the length races may be a thing. We'll see. We'll get our burnout in here. I don't really necessarily like doing burnouts all the time. And that's just kind of one of those things that's an interpersonal thing. I think it's a little arrogant, but it's also, hey, you just want to link the race, but it is what it is with me. That's kind of like Well, that's going to help us financially. We need plenty of money to get this Cup Series team running at the full scale that I would like it to. Um, so we'll see what happens. We get enough money, but I appreciate everybody tuning in, and we'll be right back at it.